It is now the year 2022, and I figured we'd do another installment of bacon and talking shit about life, to bake something called brookies, which apparently are a combination of brownies and cookies. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about life. It's gonna be a good time.
And now, let the battle begin!
Alright guys, it literally took me 30 minutes to frickin' set up this camera in the right angle and get the microphone set up in it, but we are starting the video, so that is exciting. Step number 1, I gotta look at the instructions for this recipe. Heat oven to 350 degrees. We've done that. Tells us to grease and line a baking pan with parchment paper. I don't have parchment paper because I'm a single man. You think a single man has parchment paper? We're gonna skip that step. We gotta combine butter and sugar and heat over medium until the butter is melted. So let me do that, and then we can start talking about life and life updates. Butter. So we need 8 tablespoons of butter. That's what this is. That's good. A cup of sugar. All right. Got our sugar. Pour some sugar on me. We're gonna pour out a cup of this. We got a cup of this. Spilling sugar all over the place. It says heat over medium. Alright, we're gonna wait for this to heat up. While we wait for our shit to heat up. So, I'm leaving my job. So, if you guys have watched my videos, you might know that I've been working at this startup job for the last 2.5 years since I put this here. Since I graduated, just yes, I'm disgustingly wiping my hands on my sweatpants. Just don't judge me, I'm a single man. But yeah, since I graduated Stanford, just gotta throw that Stanford thing in there. Let me get a spoon for mixing shit. But yeah, since I graduated Stanford, I've been working at this startup. So basically for the last 2.5 years, I've been working at this startup, and I'm leaving. The reason I'm leaving is because I kind of thought about the reasons why I would stay in this job, and basically the reasons I came up with were out of fear. Like, I was afraid to tell my coworkers that I was gonna leave. I was afraid to pack up all my shit and like find a new job. I was afraid that, you know, I wouldn't be able to find a new apartment if I left this job. So when I thought about the reasons for staying, basically all the reasons were just out of fear that my life was gonna change. And then I realized that that's not a good reason to stay at the job, because I don't really want to live my life out of fear anymore. I want to like be able to move forward and do things because I want to do them, not just because it's safe and it's what I know. Me staying basically would have just been me trying to not rock the boat and being like, well, my life is like kind of okay as it is, and I could just get another lease for another year for a different apartment, and I could just continue at this job and just live my normal life at this normal startup job. But if I'm being totally honest, for the last few months, I just wasn't really enjoying this job anymore. Like, I would wake up and think about going to the job, and I just wouldn't want to go. And it wasn't through any fault of, you know, what I was doing at the job or the people at the job. There was just this feeling inside me that was like, I don't want to go and do this. I want to do something else. And that led to days where I was basically just kind of like, just killing time at work, just waiting for the day to end, basically. As I thought about my life, I was like, do I want to live my life just waiting for the day to end? I didn't feel like it was good that for basically over 50% of my waking hours, I was waiting for that time to end so I could go home and like do something else because I didn't want to be there. And yeah, when I kind of think about my life, I often don't make changes in my life because I'm too afraid to take that leap. One example I have is in high school, which might be lame for a 23-year-old dude to be referencing high school still, but in high school I did track, and when I think back on it, I really should have like quit track like my junior year or something, because I wasn't really enjoying track that much. It was like fine. It was a fine thing to do. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. But I felt like, oh man, if I like tell my coach I'm quitting, he's gonna get mad. If I tell my friends I'm quitting, they're gonna be mad. I'm gonna have to like find something else to do with like my free time, because I don't want to just like do nothing, right? I still want to do something. So basically, out of fear, I stayed in track, even though I didn't love track. It was fine, you know, but it's also fine like taking a shit. But I'm not gonna like take a shit for like 10 hours a day or 2 hours after school, which is, you know, track practice. Yeah, it was fine, but like, so many other things are fine. It was just kind of like, because it was the thing I was already doing, that fineness was like locking me in to like just continuing it because I didn't want to rock the boat. And that's kind of the same way with this job. It was like, it was fine, and I was like, just lock me into this. But I felt like it was kind of important for me to take control of my life for once, because for a lot of my life I've just been kind of running around and like not taking control of it and making those tough calls that need to be made because I was too afraid of what someone might think or like the changes that I was gonna bring. But I realized that wasn't a good enough reason anymore, and I had to move on. So yeah, like I said, I think it was just kind of coming to a personal decision to make the best choice for me as well. Because a lot of times in my life, I think I'll think about the impact my decision will have on other people more than my own happiness, if that makes sense. Because I was thinking, oh man, even though I don't love this job, if I leave this job, the people at work are gonna be in a tough spot. They're gonna have to find someone else to fill my role, and it's not gonna be good for them, and they're gonna be unhappy, so I gotta do this job. And that's the same way with track. It was like, oh man, if I quit track, my coach is gonna be unhappy. And I was kind of weighing all these other people's happiness more than my own happiness. And I just kind of had to come to the realization that I can't do that anymore, because I can't live my life making other people happy. I gotta prioritize my own happiness, as selfish as that sounds. But looking at it now, I honestly don't think it's selfish. I think it's an important skill and like thing to be able to do in life, is like choose your own happiness over other people's, just to be straight up. Like, yes, sometimes the decisions you make will hurt other people, but if that decision is better for you, sometimes you just gotta do that, because you gotta take care of yourself, because it's your life and no one else is gonna do that for you. Now obviously I'm not saying go around and be an asshole to everyone so you can make yourself happy, you know, like don't steal people's shit because stealing it is gonna make you happy. But I do think like in decisions like jobs and schools and like what you do in your free time and friends, like you gotta be able to make that decision and choose your own happiness. All right, we're gonna move on in this baking thing. We gotta whisk. No, we already whisked vigorously. We gotta whisk in the eggs one at a time. Whisk in the eggs one at a time? I feel like if I whisk in these eggs, I'm gonna make an omelets. But that's what it's telling me to do, so I guess I'll do that. Alright, I guess I'll do that because it's what they're telling me to do. Whisk in the eggs one at a time. Here we go. Whisking in the eggs. Whisk. Obtained. We're gonna whisk this in slowly one at a time. Hopefully we don't make omelets. Alright, you might be thinking to yourself, so what's next for you, Introverted Madness, since you're leaving this job? My current job is in California, in the Bay Area, and I'm actually going to be moving back to New York. So I grew up in New York, if you guys didn't know, and I'm going to just be going back there because that's where my family is, that's where my roots are. Crack the second one in. Yeah, honestly, I don't really like living in the Bay Area that much. I don't know, I felt like it was kind of boring, because it's just like suburbs basically. There's San Francisco, I guess, which you can go up to, but it's like a 45-minute drive away, which is like, do I really want to drive 45 minutes to San Francisco one way and then like drive 45 minutes back? Like, it seems like a lot of effort. I think I've gone up to San Francisco like probably like less than 5 times in like the 2.5 years since I graduated college. Something else about the Bay Area is just like, yeah, I don't know, something about the vibes are just off here. There's something like tech bros that are just like here to like make a quick buck. It's just like not good vibes, and like, you know, I haven't interacted with really that many tech bros, but like it's just the vibes are off, you know? Before I continue, I got a lot of steps doing this recipe, so we're gonna cover some more steps where we talk more about the Bay Area. This video is kind of going off rails here, but this is also my first live action video, so we're gonna excuse my craziness.
Behind! Hey, behind! Really? Okay. Behind!
We're gonna whisk in the vanilla. We need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You may not be able to tell, but this is pure bourbon vanilla extract. They carded me at Trader Joe's to get this, so this is some real shit. We need 1.5 teaspoons of this. I'm a single guy, so I don't have like the teaspoon thingies. I'm gonna just use a spoon. We're just gonna pour out 1.5 teaspoons of this. Okay, we kind of spilled it. Oh dear. It's gonna be extra vanilla. It's gonna be extra vanilla-y. That's fine. All right, we're gonna do that. What's next? We gotta add flour. We need half a cup of flour. We're gonna need 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Got our cocoa powder right here. Look at that delicious cocoa powder. 3/4 cup. These ratios seem all off, but I'm gonna just trust that they got it right. Oh, I made a mess. I've made a mess. We're just gonna keep going though. We're gonna add that. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, we're just gonna eyeball a 1/4 teaspoon. It calls for kosher salt. I don't have kosher salt. I just got regular salt. I'm gonna just assume it's the same thing, even though I know it's not. And all the chefs are probably screaming at me in the comments. It's my recipe, so deal with it. You can't stop me. All right, we're gonna whisk all this shit together. This pan is kind of small. We're just gonna whisk it. All right, while I'm whisking this, another reason why I felt like I had to leave the Bay Area is because I always knew this was temporary. Like I kind of looked around and I was just like, I'm not gonna like raise a family here or like live my entire life here. And that's like no offense to the Bay Area or this area. It's just like my own personal feelings about it because like I just couldn't picture myself here. You know, it was like just a big suburb, not really much to do. So I always felt like, oh man, if I like start to put down roots here, if I like make friends here or like start dating here or just like, you know, start buying a shit ton of furniture here, it's like I know I'm not gonna be here forever. Like I just know it. It just doesn't vibe with me. And that feeling of like, oh man, this is temporary and like I'm just a transient here. It just prevented me from like doing more stuff here or like putting down more roots, which I felt like I kind of want to do. You know, I felt like it was preventing me from living my full life because I knew like, oh man, even if I do anything here, I'm gonna end up leaving anyways. So like, why even like start to do anything or talk to anyone? Felt like that was another big reason why I had to leave. Look at this shit, man. This is from scratch. Look at a chef can, man. This is not out of a box. This is just pure homemade, dude. Brownie batter. Let's give it a little taste test. This is fire. This is fire. Alright, we're gonna pour out another cup of sugar. This time we're using brown sugar for the cookies. Why? I don't know. That's just what the New York Times said. Probably because they want to mix up the sugars, because that's what fancy people do. I'm gonna say brown sugar. It always looks delicious. I'm gonna heat up our saucepan again. I'm gonna add the sugar and butter again and mix that shit up. So yeah, why go back to New York? Part of me actually kind of doesn't want to go back to New York. Part of me kind of wants to go anywhere else because, you know, I'm still young and in my 20s and I kind of just want to live in a bunch of places and like get to experience different parts of the world. But I don't know, maybe I'll do that another time. But yeah, part of the reason for going back to New York is just like feels like home, you know, like I really enjoy New York. As crazy as it is to say, because when I left New York to come to California, I did not like New York. I was kind of fed up with New York because, you know, I felt like I needed space for my parents. I felt like New York was full of crazy people, which it's still is. I'd say New York has the highest per capita of crazy people in the world, and living in the city can be really stressful because, you know, there's all these people and they're really mean and blah blah blah. But, you know, also part of me is just like, damn, like New York is home to me and it's awesome and it's got awesome shit. It's got awesome food. These are my people, these fellow New Yorkers who hate people, you know. And maybe most importantly of all, I'm gonna move back and live with my parents for a little bit. So I ain't gotta pay rent, which is very important for me to not pay rent and save that money while I'm gonna be unemployed after leaving my job. Part of me feels like it's lame to be living with my parents again, you know, now that I'm an adult. But also, a lot of my friends are living with their parents. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Like, why should I be ashamed? And also, like, if I can save money, I'm gonna just do that rather than be ashamed. And also, like, my mom is psyched about me living at home because she's been basically like begging me to come back to New York ever since I moved out here. Cause like, you know how moms be. Part of me is like, damn, I feel lame as fuck for living with my parents again. I feel like it's kind of dumb to live your life based on what society thinks is like cool and not cool. It's like, dude, like, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna live my own life. Don't bother me. And TBH, I don't really have a plan for what I do once I get back to New York, you know? I'm making all these plans to like move and like pack and shit, but like in terms of like my next job or my next move, I don't really have too much of a plan. I do know that I want to take, you know, some time off from working, maybe like a month or something, just because my current job / about to be previous job, I feel pretty burned out from the experience. And again, that's got nothing to do with the job itself or the people at the job or anything. I think it's just like my vibes. My vibes have been thrown off, you know, because this job basically has been my life for the last 2.5 years. I've put a lot of hours in this job. It's taken up a lot of my mental space. And I guess, you know, I feel kind of burned out from it. I feel like, yeah, I just need some time to decompress from this job and like get my mind straight, because for the last 2.5 years, I've been like this kind of like capitalist worker who's been like just thinking about work and work and work, and like I feel like I need to take a step back and reevaluate my priorities in life and like kind of what I want to do, rather than like rush immediately into my next job without thinking critically about like life and like what I want to do in my life and my purpose in life, you know? I feel like that's the theme for 2022, is that like I don't want to be afraid of my life anymore and like making choices and like doing the scary thing. Because like a lot of my life has been about like doing the safe thing, just staying in track because I was too afraid to quit, or like just applying to like Stanford because it's such a prestigious school and like going there, or like majoring in CS, working in tech because it's a safe job. And that's been great. I don't want to put down safety. Some people don't have that, and I do feel super privileged to like have these comforts of like going to a great college and having a great job. But also like part of me has just been like not been choosing my own happiness in that path and just kind of like doing the preordained thing that I'm supposed to do. And I feel like, yeah, it's important for me to like just take control of my own life for once. I don't really know what my next plans are. TBH, I really like making these YouTube videos, man. And like, if you told me when I started this thing that I'd end up having 1,000 subscribers, I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. That's never gonna happen. No one's gonna want to watch my cringy ass make brookies, you know? And maybe this video's gonna get 10 views and it's gonna be cold takes exposed. But yeah, man, I would really love to be able to do the YouTube thing full time. Obviously, that's a huge pipe dream, because I know that there's a million people who want to do the YouTube thing full time, and maybe 1 out of the million people actually gets to do it, you know? There's so many people who want to do that thing, but also like, I don't want to be afraid of like that anymore. I don't know, maybe I'm being young and naive, but I don't want to be afraid to do something just because the odds are against me. I don't know, my life is short, and what am I gonna do? Just be so afraid to like do the YouTube thing and like do something I really enjoy doing? Be so afraid that I am just working some office job for 40 years and then freaking die? No, I don't want to do that shit, man. And I know maybe that's stupid to like pursue the YouTube thing, right? Because again, it's such a minuscule chance it works out, but might as well just give it a shot, right? I'm gonna just take a month off from work, make some videos, see what happens. And I probably won't blow up in that month, right? But at least I think I'll enjoy it, and like, yeah, maybe that's the most important thing. Even if I don't end up doing this full time and become a famous YouTuber or whatever, I really like making videos, and like, yeah, I guess just being able to do that would make me happy. Like I said, it's time for me to choose my own happiness rather than put in 16 hours a day in some office job that I don't really love. I don't know, I feel like my parents, you know, Asian parents, have kind of conditioned me to just live a good life, you know? And it is a good life, having a tech job and going to this great college, and like, I can just get a great tech job that pays me 6 figures and just live a great life. But I don't know, something inside my heart or soul just wouldn't feel right just immediately going to do this office job. And after the month of my time off ends and me thinking about life, I'll probably end up getting an office job, right? Because my YouTube channel is not going to blow up in that 1 month. You know, I'm not going to figure out some side hustle in 1 month. I'm not going to have to find a job. But I hope in that 1 month I can do creative pursuits and just figure out what's important to me in life. Let's mix in some eggs. Whisk. Chef Cam, you catching this shit? You catching this shit, Chef Cam? I'm really into Food Network. Fun little fact about Introvert Madness. Favorite show on Food Network? Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. it's just such a positive show, man. Like, Guy Fieri never talks shit about the food there. And it's also inspiring because there's so many of the owners of the restaurants or people who like gave up office jobs or like sold all their savings to make this restaurant, and now it's on diners, drivers, and dives, you know. And like, yeah, maybe that's like part of what's inspiring me to like kind of, like I said, pursue this YouTube thing for the 1 month. I'm not gonna blow up in that 1 month, but like just pursue things I like in my free time rather than just do the office thing. And again, I'm gonna end up doing the office thing, but like, you know, work towards not doing the office thing maybe. Alright, we gotta add 2 teaspoons of this pure bourbon vanilla extract. 2 teaspoons of this shit. We're just gonna go crazy. Just go crazy, as we can see in the chef cam. And I'm gonna whisk that. We're not gonna whisk there. I ain't got time to whisk this. So we're just gonna add the flour. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Just totally crazy measurements right here. If there's any professional bakers watching this, you're probably cringing, but you can't stop me. This has already happened. So unless you invent a time travel machine and knock on my door right now, which you ain't done, this is what I'm gonna end up happening. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, which is just gonna be normal salt. Yeah, man, besides YouTube, some other things I'd really like to do, write. I like writing little stories, and I think it would be cool to write a book or get published in a magazine. If I end up being a published author, that would make me equally as happy, if not happier, than if I end up being a YouTuber. So yeah, man, that's another thing I want to chase, and I feel like part of it is just needing to start. There's 2 quotes I like. You don't have to be great to start, but you gotta start to be great. And the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. And that's just shit about like going out and doing the thing. You know, as scary as it might be or unsure about it as it might be, you just gotta do the thing if you wanna do the thing, you know? And yeah, that's gonna be me with writing and me with this YouTube channel. If I wanna do it, I just gotta do it. As simple as that sounds. You know, I would love to do stand-up comedy, and that scares the shit out of me. Going in front of an audience of people who might not laugh at my jokes and having that awkwardness and booing and someone throwing a tomato at my face.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That's scary as shit. But like, I don't know, all these things that I say I want to do, and it would be awesome if I could do it full time as a job. YouTube, writing, comedy. I just gotta do it, man. If I'm being honest, I haven't written in like the last year, and I haven't put out a YouTube video in like 3 months. And I can blame part of that on, you know, my job taking up a lot of time, but like, I'm gonna end up needing to find another office job. Yeah, man, I'm gonna just need to do that shit in my little sabbatical. I'm gonna just think about it and see what happens and just think about my life. Yeah, man, those are kind of things I'm thinking about and what I might do there. All right, we got this shit stirred up. It's looking like a cookie. And I think we gotta add the chocolate chips here. Just cutting this shit with a knife, man. We going crazy. We going crazy. Oh shit, the whisk flying everywhere. This is gonna be a bitch to clean up later. We gonna whisk this shit? Oh yeah, tell me that don't look good. All right, I think now we just gotta combine these 2 shits. Let's just randomly add the batter to this frickin' pan. So I'm gonna do that. I gotta grease the pan first. So I'm gonna just take this butter and just grease it. This feels wrong. This feels really wrong, but I'm just doing it. I'm just greasing this pan up. Oh shit. You know what? We're gonna get some extra antibodies in our system. Yeah, man, I kind of mentioned that the theme for this year I want is me taking control of my own life and like choosing my own happiness and not being afraid of what other people think or being afraid of action. I feel like another thing I want to focus on this year is my confidence and like embracing my own self-worth and like acknowledging that I have self-worth, because TBH, that's not a strong suit of me. I feel like I don't think very highly of myself. I think that I'm not smart and that I'll have a really hard time finding a job and that no one likes me and I'm really uncool and cringy and oh my god, why am I making these weird cringy YouTube videos? But that's just not how I want to live my life, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to live my life hating myself. I don't want to live my life thinking I'm a piece of shit. And TBH, if I think I'm a piece of shit, other people are also gonna think I'm a piece of shit and uncool and whatever I think of myself. So I think a big thing I wanna do this year is recognize my own self-worth and like be confident in my own self-worth. TBH, a big thing in that was me getting contacts. I'm wearing contacts right now, bro. And like, as honestly, as crazy as it sounds, has done wonders for my own self-worth. I used to feel so ugly in my glasses, but I got these contacts, I got these cooler glasses, and it's just making me feel better about myself. So I don't know. That's like a small, stupid thing, but like, that's just one example of like a way I want to like, yeah, treat myself well and like do things that will improve my self-confidence and like be aware of that. Part of it is also just like treating myself well, you know what I mean? Like part of me is like, oh man, I don't deserve to like get contacts because I'm ugly and like I'm gonna just be ugly anyway. But then it's like, nah man, I gotta do things that like make me feel good and like realize I have self-worth and like just accept that about myself, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Leave a comment if you can relate to that feeling, but like, I think that's something I struggle a lot with. Maybe a lot of young people struggle with this, but yeah, I wanna not be afraid of that. All right, bro, our shit's ready. Look at this, look at this shit, man. It looks beautiful. Chef cam. Oh, we gotta put the rest of the chocolate chip cookies on top. So we're just gonna, it says add half the cup. We're just gonna sprinkle some chocolate chip cookies on top. All right, and we're gonna put this in here for 22 to 24 minutes. I'm gonna check back in when this shit's done. Transition!
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Whoa, oh my god, it looks so awesome and delicious and set and not undercooked. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit, bro. Do this not look delicious? Do this now look delicious as hell, bro. Yeah, man, we just gotta let this set for another 40 minutes. So this is gonna be a long night, but yeah, then we'll be good, man. But yeah, then we'll do a taste test. But yeah, man, feel free to leave a comment about how you guys are feeling about the year, what you guys wanna do this year, if you guys can relate to the whole pursuing your passions, figuring out your self-worth thing, blah, 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 whatever, who cares? Subscribe if you wanna subscribe. Like the video if you wanna like it. Helps the channel out. And yeah. Y'all stay safe out there, stay sane. Peace! Except not really peace, because we're gonna come back for a taste test, but this is the end of this part of this video. Alright, peace! Alright, here we go with the taste test. Me cutting this with one hand while I film with the other hand. Kinda dangerous. But we're gonna do it. We've let this shit set for like 45 minutes, as the instructions say. And we're gonna try some of this shit. We're just gonna go crazy with it. Alright. There we go. We're gonna get a little chunk here. All right, here we go. Taste test. Oh my god. That's some good shit, man. Let me do my best Guy Fieri impression. That's a trip to Flavor Town right there. You got the soft gooiness of the brownie, then the hard cookie part, and the chocolate chips. It's all sorts of textures going on in my mouth right now. Oh my god. This is amazing. This is literally amazing. I'm literally just eating this with my hands right now.